Hello friends and welcome back to another video. If you are new, hi, my name is Haley. I create bookish content. And today is going to be a fun video. We are doing my top 10 books that I read in 2023 as well as a little flip through of my 2024 reading journal setup. One of my goals for 2024 is to have a reading journal. So yeah, I'm going to flip through and show you. I'm not completely done because some of these I'm not done with. But I will show you what I have so far. So today's video, I'm going to be doing in no particular order the top 10 books that I read in 2023. These are 10 books out of these so far up to right now. I've read 196. So these are like 10 of the 196 that I've read that I just cannot stop thinking about. So I'm just going to share them with you in no particular order. Some of them I will be able to tell you something about them. Some of them I can't because they are part of a series and they're like the second book in a series. So I don't want to spoil that for you. But yeah, let's just get into it. So the first two books on my top 10, Binding and Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. I'm sure you've heard about these. If you follow Destiny or Larry Reads, you've heard about these. So basically we are following Shannon and Johnny. Johnny is a rugby player who is like the best at the school and he's trying to go pro. And then we have Shannon who comes from a not so great home life, and it is their love story. And it's more than just that. Like they're like, check your trigger warnings because there are some topics in here that are very depressing. But these are my babies. I love them. As you can see, I have the next two. I'm probably going to start reading Saving Six next when I finish the book I'm currently on because I need more of this world. But yes, I love these books so much. If you have not checked them out, please do. And if you're looking for UK covers, these are the UK covers. If you want UK covers, a good website to get them from is Blackwell's. I got these for like $12 each, and that included shipping. So Blackwell's is my go-to like UK website. All right, next up, of course, this was in my top series, so you know it's got to be in my top read, and that is Fourth Wing. I love this book. This was a 6-star read for me, as if you can't tell. Look at all those tabs. All those green ones. Zayden Ryerson, everybody. So I love this book. Just a little bit about it. As we're following our main character, Violet, and she has grown up thinking she was going to be a part of the writer's quadrant. The scribe quadrant, which is the ones that kind of go to war with everybody, and they kind of like take down, info and stuff for the history books. And her dad was a scribe, and so she kind of worked along with him. She trained with some of very well-trained scribes as well, like to prepare. And then when she turns 18, I believe, or 20, or whenever like she's of age, her mom, well, hello, Kat. Her mom is like, you're going to be a writer, and just throws her into the writer's quadrant. So we follow her story from there. I love this. I love the dragons in this. Like, I want a dragon so freaking much. Like, there were multiple times when I was reading this and I would just stop and I would look at my husband and be like, can we go get a dragon? And he was like, I don't think that, those are real. And I was like, surely there's a dragon store somewhere because I want one so bad. Oh, I love this book. Another 5-star read for me was Happy Place by Emily Henry, as if you cannot tell. The title can be deceiving because you think that this book would be happy-go-lucky, everybody's happy throughout this whole book, and it's not. So this follows Harriet and Wynn, and they were engaged. Like, this is about a friend group that they go every summer to like the Lobster Fest up in Maine. They have like a house that I think one of the friend group's family owns, and they just go up there and stay for every year. And Harriet and Wynn have broken up, and now they have to pretend that they didn't just to keep their friends happy for this last summer together. And it follows their story from there. I love this so much. I think I read this book in like one sitting. It is one of my favorite Emily Henry's. Her writing just gets better every year. After this would have to be Book Lovers. Love that book. I definitely want to reread some of her books next year, just because it's been a while. I've only read all of her books once, and it's been a while since I've read them, and so I would like to read them again. Next up is a second book in the series, and that is A Light in the Flame. This is the second book in the Flesh and Fire series. I'm reading the third one right now. This one so far has been my favorite in the series. We got more of the romance. There was so much action and plot, and I just loved it. Love this book. If you have not checked this series out, I talked about this in my top series of 2023. If you liked From Blood and Ash, you will love this better. I love From Blood and Ash, and I love this series better. This follows ancestors of Poppy, which is the main character in From Blood and Ash series. Can't really tell you much about this because I don't want to spoil it, but we follow Nyktos and Seraphina. Nyktos is the primal of death, and Seraphina has been brought up to be his consort. She has been told that he is the reason that the rot in her kingdom is killing all of the crops and everything, and she's going to be the one to fix it. She's going to make him fall in love with her and kill him. And we follow their story from there. I love them. They are my babies. I love them so much. All right, this was a reread for me this year, but it's a 5-star. Like, it's a 6-star. Like, I love it so much, and I plan on rereading it again next year. I don't know if I might do a video of me rereading the whole series, but that is A Court of Mist and Fury. Like, if you haven't been on BookTube, like if you've been on BookTube and you've been on like Book Talk and Bookstagram, like, you know what this is. We know Farah and Tamlin in the first one. Like, plus I love the color of this book. It is such a pretty teal color. Or like a greenish color. But anyway, love this series so much. If you have not read a whole lot of fantasy and you want to like dip your toes in and dabble a little bit, this would be the series for you. It mainly focuses heavily on the romance, and so it's very easy to get into. This was the first fantasy series that I ever read, and now I read all kinds of fantasy series. Like, fantasy is one of my top genres, so I definitely recommend if you've been thinking about going into fantasy, because it's worth it. And then the next top 10 book, which was a 6-star read for me, is The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. This is the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. So freaking good. There was stuff happening left and right. That ending, oh my lord. If you have not heard about this, you are living under a rock. The Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy follows Jax, Prince of Hearts, and Evangeline Fox, and we start our story with Evangeline going to make a deal with Jax because the boy that she is in love with is about to get married to someone else. And she wants to stop the wedding. So she makes a deal with Jax. He will stop the wedding, but he requires 3 kisses of hers anytime, any place, with anybody. And we follow their story from there. I love this series so much. I love Jax. We met him in the Caraval series, and I kind of hated him. But love him after this series. Love him. Oh my gosh, I love this book. If you have not read the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver, you need to. Heartless was my favorite one of them. We followed Daddy Cade. There's a reason why he's called Daddy Cade. It's a single dad trope, and his nanny, which is best friends with Summer from the first book. And Summer comes to live, not Summer, Willa comes for the summer to visit Summer. And while she's there, she decides that she's going to nanny for Cade and take care of his son because he's looking for a nanny while he's out of school. And so, oh my gosh, I love this book. I love this book so much. Cade Eaton, everybody. Cade Eaton is definitely Grumpy Sunshine. And I love him so much. Like, I would marry him in a heartbeat. Oh, I love Cade Eaton. All right, a book that I read last month that surprised me. This is a YA fantasy, like gothic fantasy, and that is Belladonna. So it follows Signa. I don't know why I was about to say Siri. It follows Signa, and she cannot die. And she can see ghosts, and she's the only one that can see death. And when she is a baby, her family dies, and so then she goes from family home to family home, and death just follows her. And in this book, we follow her story and kind of finding out why she can't die and things like that. Love this book. Can't wait to read the second one. Yeah, there's not much more to say. I love it. The last book on my top 10 of 2023 is Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. I am not a literary fiction girl, but this definitely is like an exception to the rule. This book was a 6-star for me. This book is my baby. You could open to any one of these tabs, and it's just, oh my gosh, let's see. Like this one, it says, sometimes it's hard to know who the biggest crooks are, people who rob banks or the people who run the banks. So basically this is, a bank robbery turned hostage, and it's just, you follow the people in this apartment, you follow the bank robber, you follow the cops, you follow the people that are being held hostage, and it's basically, it shows you how our lives affect others without us even knowing. And it, oh my gosh, it was so good. I definitely want to pick up more Frederick Bachman in 2024. But you follow a young couple, you follow a father and son, you follow the bank robber and how he got, and it doesn't really tell if it's a man or a woman that robs the bank and holds them hostage. You really don't know till the very, very end. And you follow the bank robber and their story and how they got there, and you follow an older lady, like an older couple. Like one of the quotes that I said is, when Jim was young, children used to be punished by being sent to their rooms, but these days you have to force children to come out of them. Like, just, I love this book. And in this book, Frederick Bachman breaks the fourth wall a lot and like talks to you as the reader. And like, that's how the book started. And so I was a little confused because I was like, wait a second, what is going on? But like, he's like, this story is a lot of things, but mostly about idiots. So it needs saying from the outset that it's always very easy to declare that other people are idiots, but only if you forget how idiotically difficult being human is, especially if you have other people you're trying to be a reasonably good human being for. I mean, that was like the first paragraph of the first page. And it's just, I love this book so much. Like, I love it. Go read it. Go read it. Go read it. Like, I've seen a lot of people's reaction to this, and it was like, that don't usually read this genre, and they love this book. So go read it. Anyway, that is the top 10 books of 2023. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of my reading journal setup for 2024. Usually I keep up. I want, like, one of my goals next year is to be like my favorite read of the month, and that way at the end of the year I can do my favorite read from each month of the year. It's just, that way it's down on paper. Like, I have Goodreads, but there's only so much you can do with Goodreads. And with this, I can like make it as much like whatever I want it to be, basically. So we start out with Haley's book journal. I love this. I love how this turned out. I don't know. I just loved it. And then I had an old copy of the Hunger Games book. I have a new one, but it's my original copy from when I was in like middle school, and it's all banged up and beat up and the cover is ripping off. So I use that to rip pages out of. That way I didn't know like books that could be reasonably sold or passed on to somebody was harmed in the making of this journal. And then I just have this. A lot of this came from Destiny Sidwell. I watched her video and a lot of the inspo came from that. But I just have my rating system, and then I'm not done setting my goals for 2024, but that's what I want to do right here. So far I have read 150 books and diminished my physical TBR because it's massive and I really need to take some books down. And then I want to do the alphabet challenge, which is reading a book that starts with a letter, every letter of the alphabet. So I really want to do that. And then we have my series tracker. Y'all, I am in the middle of /own a lot of series, and they're not even all here. Like, I have this page, this page, this page, this page, and then I left another blank page just so that I could add, like, I have to add 2 more series here that I've ordered because I have 2 box sets on the way this week, like, because I want to do videos with them. So I went ahead and ordered them. They were at a great price, and so I just got them. So that is my series tracker. And then I have my book tracker by the month. So each of these boxes goes up by 2, and then that way I can track how many books I read each month, and it can just be right here so I can see like the trends, you know, just for fun. And then a spread that I am not done with because it is taking forever to draw all of these little books, and that is books like 2024 in books. So I'm going to have all of these shelves. And Destiny, I've done this before, but I just kind of did them in order, like by when I read them. But I think what I'm going to do is what she suggested and have like a certain color for each month and kind of like sporadically put them on there. So when it's done, it's going to be like a rainbow and I can see what books were read in what month. So I have a little key here. I really like that idea. And then because I read a lot, I have another page just in case I need it. And then we have 24 books in 2024. I plan to do a video on this. I just kind of printed out the book covers and put them on here. I'm going to do a video of the 24 books I want to read in 2024, so keep a lookout for that. I don't know if it'll come out this month or like at the beginning of the year. So I will be doing a video on that, so I'm not going to go into much detail. And then I have my Goodreads goal. I am not a fan of this spread, but it is what it is. I'm just going to color in a box for every book I read, and my goal is 150. And then down here, I'm going to color in the box based on a star rating. So down here, I've got like the little key. And so like 5-star or whatever, I can see how many 5 stars I had for the year, how many 1 stars, and so on. So not my favorite spread. It's very plain, but when the year is over, I will have lots of colors on here. And then I just have just one more chapter. It's just like a decorative page. And then we have the start of January. So that is what I have so far. And then each month, like I want to do where I print off the cover of the book that I read and put like the stars underneath it, and then kind of do a little synopsis and my thoughts. And then at the end of the month, do like my favorite book of the month, my least favorite book of the month, and all the stats and stuff. So I will definitely like try to do some videos and stuff for this. But yeah, so that is my book journal setup for 2024, and that is all I have for you in today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have not already, subscribe, become a part of my bookish community. It would make my day. If you made it this far, please comment down below. Tell me what was your favorite book of 2023, and if I haven't read it, I would love to check it out. If you have any book recommendations, I love getting new books and reading new books, so leave me some book recommendations in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.